Hello. Okay, it's 6:01. I be trying to start the thing right at 6, and then Gianna was like, Mom, it's 6. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so it was totally 6 o'clock, so that's totally my fault. Okay, so stand by, worthy women. I got to scoot back. Okay, kids. I feel like that's a little bit better. Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Y'all, this is such a special day. Today is our final Worthy Wednesday of 2020. Okay, so first of all, I thought it would be great to kind of relive Worthy Women 2020, the Career edition, because nobody but me in my brain knows how it really went down every single week when I was thinking about what was going to happen, what were we going to do. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't even tell you how many times I have said that. So let me get my notebook. All right, I'm back. So I took a few notes and I want to go over that first, and then I think I will get to exactly what we're going to do. Sister Amanda, how you doing today? So today is December 30th, 2020. Our very first Worthy Wednesday was July 15th, 2020. Now, I will never forget that. I don't care how long I do Worthy Wednesday. I will never forget it because it was the Wednesday before that Gianna turned 18, and I will never forget it. I remember thinking to myself, I should totally start next week because then I'll be less stressed out because she was on her way to Portland, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. I was totally not ready to do anything, but I went on because I said, I need to just start. If I say I'm going to do it, I need to do it. So, our very first Wednesday was July the 15th, 2020. Today, you guys, December 30th, 2020. Today is our 25th. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then I thought if we had done it for 52 weeks, okay, but we did it for 25 weeks. First of all, can y'all believe we did it for 25 weeks? It doesn't even seem like that because you only meet once a week, but we did it for 25 weeks. If we would have had 2 more weeks, we would have done exactly half of the year, which I can't believe. So today is our 25th Worthy Wednesday. Like, okay, I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to quit. Not because I don't love Worthy Wednesday, but because I was stressed out every week and I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. So we did 25 Worthy Wednesdays. Today is 25. So thank y'all for being a part of the Worthy Women community. Thank you for accepting the invitation, whether it was for me or your cousin or your friend. I appreciate you accepting the invitation. I also want to say thank you to our team, the people that helped me do the group. And they always laugh because they're like, we don't ever do anything. But sometimes it's good to know that you have people. Baby, can you give me a Kleenex? It's good to know that you have people with you, even if you don't know what, if they feel like they're not doing anything. So to Carly, now I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story about Carly. Carly, she worked with us at school, and I actually wanted to start the group for her. Thanks. I actually wanted to start the group for her because we were just talking about some different things that you walk through when you grow up, and I was like, yeah, let's just create a community of women, get together, blah blah blah. Anyway. The weekend that I decided to do the group, she called me talking about, Cree, I went to Texas. Ma'am, why are you in Texas right now? We're going to launch the group. And so I remember sitting on my couch thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to delete it because nobody knows that I wanted to do it anyway. And I remember the next morning I got up and I was just kind of praying and meditating. And the Lord said, did I tell you to quit the group? I was like, no, you didn't have to tell me to quit the group. I'm not doing it because I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for her, and I was just going to help her and bow out gracefully. So that's a sidebar caveat just right there. Let's have a life lesson. Have you ever thought that you were doing something to help somebody else, but really it was the Lord talking to you about that for you? Okay, that's just me. It's totally me. I get it. It's fine. Anyway, so Carly went to Texas, obviously, and it was fun. She got to see her family and came on back, but I still launched the group. So shout out to Carly for bailing on me. I appreciate you. And that kind of pushed me to do the group. And then when I sent out the invitations, I sent it out to all the people I knew first, because I'm like, they better say yes to the group just because they know me. And I accepted the invitation for my sister. I just went to her phone and I just put it in there. I was like, yes, you accepted being in the group. So shout out to Carly for helping me with the group, and to Chandra, who just moved across the country to become a grandmother. Whoop, whoop. The baby's coming any day, so I'm excited about that. So thank you to Chandra. And then, of course, my sister, I pretty much put her on every adventure I am on. There aren't too many things I've done in my life that I haven't made her do. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably bad, because she probably feels like, I don't want to do this, sis. It's okay. She still does it. So shout out to those people. Thank you to my favorite worthy woman, Gianna Renee, who shocked me quite a bit. Not only when she said she wanted to do Worthy Wednesday, but she also shocked me because, y'all, it was good. Okay, but let me tell you something. Sometimes you think your kids, well, most parents think their kids are exceptional. I completely believe that Gianna's exceptional. And so I just thought, oh, well, she'll be good because she's my kid. But like, literally, I was so proud of her. I was like, I probably watched the video like 10 times. I was like, oh my God, my baby. Anyway, so shout out to my Gianna Renee. Thank you for listening and sharing and commenting. I always read the post after the live video because, y'all, I can't read it while we're doing it live because I'd be a squirrel. So I know sometimes people say something, if I see their profile pic and I recognize them, I'm like, hey, how you doing? But I don't know if you're commenting back to me in that moment until after I watch the video. So I had somebody message me and say, I said hi back in the video, you didn't say anything. And I was like, ha ha, because I didn't know you commented. But thank y'all for doing that. So also, I feel like in this particular moment, that Worthy Wednesday is definitely a movement. I really believe that was ordained for me to call it Worthy Wednesday. Like, I don't even call Wednesday Wednesday anymore. I'm like, oh, today is Worthy Wednesday. So I think for the rest of my life, as long as I'm on the earth, Worthy Wednesday will certainly be more than just a day. It'll always remind me of what we're supposed to do. And it also reminds me of all of the wonderful, worthy women that are in this group. So thank you to everyone who has ever sent me a text message, a Facebook message. If you've ever called me or sent me an email, like, I really appreciate the divine timing of every single one of those messages. When you do something that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, you never know if it's really being received, and you always wonder, am I making a difference in a situation? Am I making a difference at a job? Am I making a difference? Heck, in your family, let's just start there. And sometimes it is so appropriate to receive a word of encouragement, because then you can just step back and say, okay, all right, I'm going to keep going. And so thank you to everyone who's always, or anyone who has sent me a message. I have saved every single one. I have screenshotted every single one and put them in a folder in my Google Drive. So I will always have them because I cherish those things from you guys. And finally, I just want to thank God, of course, for Worthy Wednesday. Y'all, I didn't really... My mom always, sometimes I send my mom the videos, on YouTube so she can watch them. And she's like, girl, you were preaching today, but maybe you should have had another scripture. You should have this. And I always laugh. But a lot of times I don't really intend to, preach a sermon, so to speak. But sometimes I really feel like I am, and I'm really preaching to myself. But I've always had the gift of gab. And I feel like this is certainly a place where the things that I have learned about myself, about walking with the Lord, about walking to be a better person, I've just really shared some of those things with you, and some of the wisdom that you guys have has certainly blessed me, and it's encouraged me to run on. So I do thank God for you guys. I pray for the group because I just still feel like, oh my gosh, it's a huge responsibility. I can't mess up. So I got to get my life and stay on and do what I'm supposed to do. Hey, Melba. So anyway, I am so thankful for you guys in Worthy Wednesday, and I'm so thankful to have been with you for 25 Wednesdays. That's unbelievable. So next year, we're certainly having the Worthy Women Conference. I'm still trying to decide right now where it's going to be. I hope to make up my mind in the next day or two, and then I'll put all that information out there. I'd love to see y'all. Preferably the world will be a little bit less chaotic and you guys can actually come to the physical location. But if not, we'll certainly have all of the things in order so we can broadcast it live, because I would love to see y'all virtually, even if I can't see you physically. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, so tonight I felt like I really wanted to continue to talk about belief system. And then I felt like, well, maybe I should talk about something else because it's the end of the year. And then it dawned on me, those two things go together. So Worthy Women, tonight, I really hopefully just a few minutes, I want to talk about what now. I feel like whenever we get past Christmas, everybody is focusing on what's coming. This is a new year. I'm going to be a new person. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to do all these things. And, we call them resolutions. And well, sometimes we keep them, sometimes we don't. But I feel like in relationship to what I really believe about me, what my belief system is about God, what it is about my family, I thought it's more appropriate for us to talk about what now are we going to do. I mean, we're in a world, this time is something like we've never seen before. I think if we looked back in history, we looked at the plague of 1812, all these different things, D-Day, we can imagine what it was like because most of us weren't alive during that time. And if some of us were alive, we were very young, so we didn't really know what was happening. I remember the very first tragedy I ever saw was the spaceship Challenger when it blew up. And I remember it because we were all talking about Christy McCullough, who was the very first teacher that was going into space. And so I remember that whole day at school, we were watching Channel 1 News. Y'all might remember Channel 1, and they were talking about it and broadcasting live. And so when they had the accident, it was, we were like, oh no, what happened? But I've thought about all of the things that have happened in 2020. And a lot of people have said to me, I can't wait until the year's over and I can't wait for this. And I just don't have that perspective. And I know I told y'all because 2020 was really, it was monumental for me. Gianna graduated from high school. She graduated with honors. She got a full academic ride. And then on top of that, a volleyball scholarship. I mean, she turned 18. She moved all the way to Portland. I couldn't really find anything during this time where I could complain about it. There were so many things that I was thankful for, so many things that I was grateful for that I have said to people on more than one occasion. The time definitely is different. The year definitely is different, but certainly where you choose to place your belief and your focus and your attention determines how you feel that this year has really gone. And the more that I thought about it, the more that I kind of meditated on it, this is what I realized, that the reason why I believe, and this is just my own personal opinion, that this year so many people have said it's not like any other year that we've experienced is because we have experienced so many things publicly that we usually only experience privately. So I was like, that makes sense to me because death is not new. Racism, unfortunately, is not new. Sickness is not new. Poverty is not new. All of these things that we have been forced almost to focus our attention on, unfortunately for us, worthy women, these things are not new. But what is new is having a front seat almost to view so many people experiencing things that are so private and now they're public because of what's happening in the earth. Because I thought about how many people have had sickness come to their home. And I'm not talking about COVID-19. I'm talking about anything. I'm talking about, it could be cancer diagnosis. It could be the flu. It could be strep throat. It could be pneumonia. People have still had sickness come into their lives. People have still had death come to their family. People have still experienced racism. People have still experienced not equal rights. People have been harassed and discriminated against. And I said, we've been living in a world where publicly, during this last half of 2020, everybody has been witness to those things. But prior to the world being shifted, we were experiencing those things privately. And I thought to myself, does it make it less painful because now people are experiencing it together? And I said, absolutely not. Because if death comes to your family, that's a big hurt for everybody that's in your family. If you experience racism or discrimination, that's it's a big public thing that it causes you to want to retreat to a private place because you don't want other people to know. And so literally I was, sitting and thinking, and I said, so what do we do? How do we really move forward, because people have said, I know, probably 4 million times, I can't wait. 21 will be the year. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. And I said, it's funny, we say that every year. I remember when it was turning from 1999 to 2000 and everybody thought the world was ending. They were like, you're not going to be able to buy food. You're not going to be able to use the grocery store, all these things. And I remember how much panic there was. I was working at Walmart then, and I was working New Year's Eve, and then I was off. And then, we had to go back to work New Year's Day. But I just kept thinking, wow, there's so much uncertainty. But everybody was like, I can't wait. 2000 is going to be great. Blah, blah. And then some people were like, the aliens are going to come take over the world. I don't know. But I said, how do we really change what matters? And so I said, I looked at the definition of belief, and it is the state or the habit of mind in which trust or confidence is placed in some person or something. But tonight I want to focus on the last part of that definition, because I feel like that's exactly where we live right now. Where do I go from here? People that I have trusted, people that I have put my confidence in, they have failed me. They've disappointed me. So now what? What is my belief system really telling me? Because who I thought I was and who I thought I could depend on aren't those people anymore. I mean, it might just be me that I realize I'm not that person anymore. And so I thought about, this is what happens when you get to a crossroad. And for almost everyone on the planet, I believe that this moment is a crossroad. And so I couldn't really figure out how to give you guys a good example. Like, I thought of 10,000 things, but then I remembered the poem by Robert Frost, and it's called The Road Not Taken, which I'm sure all y'all know because we've had to learn it 50,000 times. Anyway, so it talks about this journey that he goes on, and that he was walking in the forest. And the first part of the poem, he talks about when he was walking, he said 2 roads diverged in the woods, right? I was like, this is brilliant. So I want you to imagine with me tonight your belief system. You are walking, and you can even be walking in a forest if you want, or in the woods. And as you get to the end, because today's the 30th, tomorrow's the 31st, and Friday is the 1st. As you get to the end, like the poem says, 2 roads diverged in the woods, which means they were one, but now they have divided into 2. And I sometimes feel like that's what happens with our belief system. Maybe not for you, but for me, that depending on what's happening in my life, depending on the circumstance, depending on the trial that I feel like I have to walk through because there's something that I need to surrender, there's something I need to repent of, there's something that I need to do. I feel like there are times in my life where my belief system hits a road that was once one, and now there's 2. And so anyway, the poem, like, I hadn't read it in a long time, so I reread the whole thing. But basically, it goes on to talk about what happens when you make a choice to go either to the right or to the left, kind of like life, which is really great for me. But how I wanted to relay it to you is that my belief system throughout this particular half or this particular part of the year, we've seen people walk on both roads. And we've seen a lot of people just stand still, where we've watched people on one side and think, I don't want to be bothered with that. And then we look to the other side and we think, I don't want to be bothered with that. And I used to think, when I was growing up, because I'm still growing up, I used to think when I was growing up that if you stand still and don't go to the right or to the left, it's okay. Because at least you didn't go over there with those people to act crazy, and you didn't go over there with these people to act crazy. But tonight, as I was thinking and meditating a little bit more, what I realized is that those people made a decision and I didn't. Well, at least I thought I had made a decision, because I was like, well, I didn't go to the right or to the left. Right. But what I chose to do was stand still. And so then I thought to myself, I said, wait just a minute. Is that what happens when I've placed my trust or confidence in a person or a thing? And because I have been disappointed, instead of me deciding to either go to the right or to the left, I decide that I'm going to stand in the middle, because what happens is my belief system has been so shaken by the trust and confidence I placed in a man or a woman or a relationship or a job, and it failed me, that now I don't know which way to go. I don't know what path to choose. I don't know whether or not I should continue to believe, because see, believing is those people that have chosen either the right or the left, because their action, believe is the action of belief. But I decided that my action would be to stand still, because what's going to happen if I go over here and I get disappointed again? But then I turn around and come on this side and get disappointed again by these other people. So I decide to do nothing. And I wondered, am I doing nothing right now? Am I just waiting for the clock to turn to January 1st, 2021, and then decide that I'm going to start doing something, that I'm going to start believing that my life is better, that I can be better, or that God has always made me worthy and that I'm strong and I'm capable? Or am I just going to continue, like the poem said, two roads diverged in the woods? Am I just going to keep standing there looking, trying to decide which road I should take, but not knowing what could happen if I decide to go to the right or to the left? And so I decided this tonight. When my belief is tested or stretched, as it has been this year, there is a decision that has to be made out of the cognitive dissonance, also known as the struggle. And so here tonight, worthy women, we stand at a crossroad where you have to make a decision about your belief system. What is it that I believe? What are the origins of my belief? Am I going to continue to operate in this belief system? Because in reality, when we go to sleep on Thursday night and we wake up on Friday morning, it will be a new year. Some of us will go to work. Some of us will go out of town. Some of us will be traveling back to our homes. But the new year has already entered. But the question is what am I going to do, because the day is new? And then I thought to myself, well, Karee, it doesn't really matter if you do anything or not. I mean, honestly, come on. You have all of January to really figure out what you really want to do, how you want to live, what do you want to believe. And then I thought to myself again about how public certain things have been: death and heartache, heartbreak, destruction, resistance, fear, anger, grief, separation. I thought about how public those things have been. And then I thought about how private those same things have been for people that aren't on the news stations, that aren't famous or tweeting 24 hours a day or whatever. I thought about the same struggles that I have seen publicly are the same struggles that people are dealing with privately. So when the day dawns, I kept thinking to myself, I said, well, Karee, if the day dawns on January 1st, Friday, then what is it that you're going to believe differently? What's going to make Friday different from it being the last day of the week versus Friday being the beginning of a new year? Because I feel like sometimes, worthy women, we believe, we put our trust or confidence in some person or thing. The thing that we put our trust and confidence in for most people is, well, on Friday, when it's a new year, new things will happen, new growth, new challenges, new blessings, new this. And all of that might be true. I mean, I don't know. All of that might be true. But worthy women, the challenge that you have before you tonight is, are you going to be new? Is your belief system going to allow you to become who you were created to be? I mean, because we always say, I'll do it next year. Okay, I'll do it next month. Oh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it tomorrow. And for some people, those moments, those months, those days, those weeks, those years never come, because we're always hoping and believing. See, the action we take is we say, okay, well, it didn't work out, so I'll wait and do it again next year. I'll put action, I'll put faith to that the next time that thing rolls around. But I recognized tonight the reason why you haven't gone back to school, the reason why you haven't finished your degree, the reason why you haven't made a decision about that relationship, the reason why you haven't launched your business, the reason why you haven't decided to help those young people like you've wanted to for 10 years, the reason why we don't do it is because what I have as my belief system stops me. Because what I really think and that's in my head and in my heart about me is that why would anyone listen to me? Why would anyone follow me? Why would anyone trust anything I have to say? How can I make a difference? Why would I go back to college? I'm too old. I can never be a doctor. I could never be a lawyer. I could never launch this business. I could never be successful. So why would I even try to change what I know about myself? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. What I believe, my belief system, either causes me to go to the right or to the left, or stand still and watch other people live. And I literally wanted to slap myself because as much as I think in my head, I've really been living and doing all these things and being productive and making changes. And I realized that there were times in my life that when I got to that road in the woods, my belief system held me captive. So, what will this new year be for you? So the last line of this poem is where I want to finish. It says, 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. Worthy women, tonight, the challenge is not just for you, it's really for me, because there were days that I wanted to quit. There were days I didn't want to do Worthy Wednesday because I thought, what if everyone thinks I'm a weirdo? There were days that I thought, I don't want to tell people that I struggle with this. There were days that I thought, I can't believe I'm actually doing this every week. This is crazy. But as I read the last line of the poem, 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. I recognized tonight that my belief system, sometimes even more than that, I really believe it's the grace of God that allows you to make a decision and go after something. See, that's the road less traveled by. And it doesn't mean that as you're going down that road, you might experience death, you might experience heartache, you might experience disappointment, you might experience rejection. But as you're traveling down that road, your belief system, first of all, in God and in yourself, is growing stronger every day. Man, I'm confident. Man, I'm capable. I'm talented. I'm anointed. I'm called. I have purpose. You literally start increasing the speed of your travel because you recognize this path was made for me. Okay, so worthy women, I want you to understand that taking the road less traveled by doesn't have anything to do with you selecting something that's so far out that nobody else would be interested in. What it has to do with, and what I learned tonight, is you deciding that my belief system is enough for me to decide. You have to decide right now. Am I going to even get on the road before I can say I've traveled the road less, I've taken the road less traveled by? I have to decide tonight what my belief system is. And so I realized that although I'm not necessarily one for New Year's resolutions or anything like that. I've decided that I want to be firm enough in my belief, in my faith, in my God, that I'm going to decide to go for it. I don't really know what a conference is going to look like in 2021. Can I just tell y'all the truth? But I can remember the day that idea jumped out of my spirit, man. I was like, I want to have a conference for worthy women. I called my sister on the phone. And she was like, what, sis? I said, I want to have a conference for worthy women. He said, okay. And I knew at that moment, I could see the location. I could see the banner. I could see the streamers. I could see the blue. I could see Worthy Women Live. I could see it. And I made a decision that day in the midst of a very public pandemic where everything seems to be completely closed. It's never going to be open again. Forget it, Korea. You're not going to have it. I decided that there is nothing better than to say to every worthy woman that's in this group, and for them to say to all their worthy women friends, hey, y'all got to come. We're going to this conference. You have to come, because what better way to change and to challenge my belief system than to go on a road less traveled by? Why would I not go back to college? Why would I not go back to school? Why would I not start that business? Why would I not encourage a complete stranger? Why would I not pray for somebody if they asked me? Every time you make a decision that doesn't seem to fit what's happening globally or even individually, even if it doesn't make sense to you, you better think about the road in the woods that was once one, but now diverged into two, that's asking you, can you, Kari, make a decision about what you believe? And y'all, I know it's funny because I always say belief instead of believe, but because now I understand it differently. My belief is what I use all the time, whether I want to or not. But when I say I believe something, it's because I've acted on what I have in my belief system. So when I tell you I believe that there's going to be Worthy Women Live 2021, do the work, let me tell you, my faith is running on that. Okay, it's running on it already, because there is nothing, whether it's public or private, that should deter you from what you know. What I know in my head, what I know in my heart, those are the things that come out of my mouth. So this year I challenge us. I mean, we got 2 days left before 2021 hits. I am challenging each of us. If you're standing in the woods and the road has now diverged from 1 to 2, I am asking you to examine your belief system. And after you examine it, I'm asking you to actually jump out there on faith and take the road that has been less traveled by. It doesn't mean that there won't be people on the path, because there will be. Whatever road you choose, there's going to be people on that path. But you have to make a decision that when a new year dawns, that's not when I'm going to get new beliefs. That's not when I'm going to get new faith. That's not when I'm going to get new hope. I'm going to make a decision tonight about my beliefs, about my belief in God, about my belief in humanity, about my belief in my family. And after I make those decisions, I am then going to act and stop saying, I'll wait until next year. I'll wait until next year. And I'm going to start doing and being who I'm supposed to be right now. Y'all, I can't wait to see you. Oh my gosh, when I see you again, it'll be a new year, which is absolutely unbelievable to me. But I'm going to be on the countdown to Worthy Women 2021. And I cannot wait to see all of you there, whether you come in person or you're there virtually. I cannot wait to see you because the work, worthy women, we got to do the work, period. We got to do it. So that is what I hope you take away from every single week of Worthy Wednesday, because that is what I have taken away. Except I've also had a really good time and I love the group. I love y'all. Y'all have encouraged me and I love all that. But I've taken away more than that, that I must do the work every single day. I love y'all. Thank you so much for being with me in 2020. 2021, gonna be epic. See you.